That'd be absolutely devastating.
Oh! Here, this is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this podcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to DWR Gonzo'S Wrestling Room. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez, Marcus Fine, and Warren Misery. What's going on, guys?
It's going great, man. We set a new record. We're only what, 25 minutes late?
Only. Come on. Gotta make them wait. Gotta make them wait for greatness.
Yeah. We can't say 6:30ish. We have to say almost 7ish. Almost 7ish.
We'll be on sometime, but Monday, Friday.
Whose fault was it then? Was it my
Chris
fault?
started coughing. Was waiting on Chris's coughing. He started coughing. We're good to go.
Yeah.
We'll blame this on Pablo.
Okay, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Well, guys,
Go ahead.
we're going to get things started. We're going to go right into Marcus Fine's Independent Wrestling Report, and then we'll bring in Mr. Shane Kauser, owner and operator of one of the owners and operators of AACW, and tell us about a show he's got coming up this Saturday. And then we got a special guest, Brandon Thomas, I believe is his name, referee out of Illinois. I think he's also done some wrestling and managing and stuff. So we'll be talking to him with rapid fire. So, Marcus?
All right. I got a bunch of birthdays. This week's, I was going to make statements, but evidently this week in May is the time to get nasty because there's a lot of birthdays.
No, it's not this. Not this. You gotta go 9 months from today is the time to get nasty.
Oh, that's true. So what was 9 months ago? That's right. Anyway, 9 months ago, they were all having a good time in that month, whatever it was. So
June, August,
something like that. Anyway, here we go. Today, we got half of the AVW Tag Team Champions Depravities Napier's birthdays today. Former AACW Heavyweight Champion Cody Lee's birthdays today. Storm Garcon's birthdays today. Then on Wednesday, we have Johnny Blaze's brother, Dozer. He wrestled as Dozer. He is a former WCWO Tag Team Champion and champion. His birthday's on Wednesday. Thursday, Sean Berkey. He's one that helps us with results every so often. Easy Cruz from WCWO Legend was on Thursday. Our good buddy, part of the podcast, Justin Danger's birthday is on Friday. Also on Fridays, the highlight reels. Damon and Damian Reels' birthdays on Friday. Saturday, Brad Havoc's birthday. Sunday, Juniper Gates' birthday, and Javon Thomas. And Javon Thomas is that kid from PopCon. You know who I'm talking with.
Yep.
His birthday's on Sunday. So happy birthday to everybody. And if we missed you, a happy birthday. I don't have any prayer concerns. I know Warren's doing good. Justin Danger's doing good. So.
and I don't know if you guys did miss that. That was recorded, right? That was my wife that snuck in and took my wallet. So.
I didn't see it. I plead nothing.
Yeah.
There's Mr.
Put the
Bob.
wallet, and then if they find the body later, we know what happened.
Hey, Wiley's in here too. All right, everybody. Right. Well, that's good. I'm glad Wiley's in here. He's got to hear stuff I got to say. So, all right. I do have some results. I am going to, Saturday. Oliver, Phoenix's son Oliver, had a private birthday party at the Dub, and they put on a little wrestling show. And it saw Waterboy defeat Will Asher. Jackson Morgan defeated TJ Powers and Juan Sanchez in a triple threat match. And then the main event was Phoenix with Oliver defeated Mike Noble to retain the WCWO territorial title. Nice little 45-minute show. It was pretty good. All right. Yesterday, we had a benefit show for Mrs. Wiley, Chris Wiley. Had a very decent crowd. I think there's like 50 people there. Very loud people and not a lot of normal wrestling fans. But they were loud. I do want to commend the ring announcer, Caitlin. She told me it was her second time. It's the first time I've seen her. She's got that. She's adapted an old school ring announcing vibe. I love it. In this corner, you weigh it in, and in this corner, fantastic. So the Chris Wiley Benefits Show at the Outlaw Arena yesterday saw Jackson Morgan defeat Cruiserweight champion Cruiser. And here's how it worked. The match was deemed non-title since the rule book for the Cruiserweight title says, rule number 8250, that the title cannot be contested if there is not an official sanctioned press style weigh-in. So, since Jackson pinned him, can't decide the title because there was not a sanctioned press conference weigh-in. So, Cruiser is still the Cruiserweight champion. So, and then
that's very Chris Jericho WCW-ish. Very find that loophole to keep the belt.
It was great. The returning Kurt Busse defeated half of the WCW Tag Team Champions Zay Gates. Andre Stray defeated Mike Noble. Maliko defeated Max Sterling. Waterboy defeated TJ Powers. Here you go. And it was a darn good match. I know this ain't going to sound good, but it was a darn good match. Will Asher and T.S. Wiley defeated Cousin Cooter and Pogo. Very well done. Vinny Vachetti made a surprise appearance as he defeated Mark Magnus. Main event, Zach Nova defeated Juan Sanchez to retain the WCW Gunslinger title. So the guys that made their debut 11 months ago are now main eventing, and they're doing damn good. And Wiley, I commend you. I know if you're still on here, you put together a damn good show.
Yes.
A damn good card. And as you said, and I agree, I would have paid money to see that. I mean, I did pay money to see that.
I know what you meant.
I would have paid to go see that.
I know what you meant.
It was
We're just giving you a hard time.
Very well done. 8 matches flowed very well. It was good, and they did raise some money.
Match of the night for them.
Oh, it'd have to be the main event. Main event was good. I mean, I was very impressed with Will Asher and Wiley's match. I mean, and I'm not just saying that because he's in here. Because when it got done, I looked at Kelly and said, "Hey, that really wasn't that bad." The Wiley, how Wiley did it.
I know what you mean, Marcus. We're just looking for time.
That went pretty well.
You gotta wait. You gotta rate Wiley on the curve.
We got the clock going off in the background.
Gotta rate it if he's shirtless or not. If he's got a shirt on.
Yeah.
No, he had his right beater on.
Okay, that helps. Wiley, I love you, buddy. I gotta give you some hell, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, and
I'm glad things went well.
I would, if I wasn't a physical state I was in and all that stuff,
What's up, Bill?
I would have showed up to support this, but I'm glad a lot of people did for you guys, and always Wiley, you're always there for me, buddy. I got you.
There, Juan Sanchez running his mouth again.
Christopher.
But that's more towards Chris. But anyhow,
yeah.
Okay, then I got the FEW results from our good buddy Steve Butler, fully loaded, Greenfield, Indiana, yesterday. Some of these names I'm not familiar with. So Brandon Day pinned the Empire's Mikey Jenkins. Crystal Moon didn't come out and belittled Jenkins for losing. Then she issued an open challenge. Crystal Moon then defeated Casey Clay via submission to retain the FEW title, ladies title. Mitchell Taylor defeated Ricky Guns via DQ. Ashton Adonis pinned Donovan Cecil. Elijah Arrows pinned Hayden Blackland. Jackson Morgan defeated Mike Noble. Mike Noble didn't have a good weekend.
That's good.
And
He sucks.
Yeah, he sucks. The Empire retained the FEW Tag Team titles against Andre Strait and Tyler Dynamite. And the main event had the FEW champion Jacob Rose pin the FEW Mid-Continental champion Logan Myers in a non-title champions showcase. So he said they had a very loud crowd down there as well. So
That's awesome.
he had a singlet on. I don't think he did, but okay.
I might be even worse.
He might have, but he had his pants on too, so I guess you
Yeah.
can't tell the singlet.
As long as it wasn't a Speedo, we're good.
Those don't-
Oh,
Oh, Lord.
put this in my
Oh, Lord.
Keller said she'd rather him be naked.
No!
I knew we was gonna get that.
Making me puke over here.
Again, Wiley, you did a damn good job. Caitlin,
Yes.
I was very impressed. You did very well. I love that old school ring announcing. You'll do very well. You keep that up. So
Well, that's awesome.
So
Hey,
that's what I have.
Mark, is that it for your? Okay,
That's what I
got
have.
some results for Warrior Pro Wrestling number 44. Happened on Sunday. Opening match had Jeremy Hadley losing to Parker Sexton. We had I don't know if it's going to be in order. I'm just going to go by what I got here. I got Brody Bodkins defeating Jay Glenn from the Detail. Had Scorpion defeating Asher Steele from the Detail. We had Elijah Arrows defeating Pharaoh King from the Detail. We had Jared Kripke, World Pro Heavyweight Champion, taking on T.Y. Ice, the World Pro Pride Champion. Kripke won that match. Had some shenanigans going on there, but Kripke did win. It was a non-title match. And then the main event we had for the Warrior Pride Tag Team or Warrior Pro Tag Team Championships, Agents of Chaos defeated Buck and Dynamite. So that was the Warrior Pro show. Hey, Chris, what was your match of the night?
Probably Kripke and Ice.
I think so too. I think that was the match of my night too. We had 3 or 4 kind of spots. So, but yeah, I'd say Kripke. Main event wasn't bad, and I would say Kripke and Ice was probably.
And they're tag champs now, right?
Agents of Chaos is.
Yeah.
They are the new tag champions.
Tank came back.
Yep, Tank's back.
He came back. He was the referee that counted the pin for the Agent of Chaos to get the titles.
And it's good to see Tank back. I love Tank. And then also the best thing on the whole show for me, I think Chris will agree with, maybe not, but was the promo done by having a brain fart, Chris. Brody Bodkins. So that was the best thing. It was outstanding promo. Loved it. That was the best thing on the show for me.
Yeah, that tells you a whole lot about the show. Best thing on the show was Brody Bodkins' promo.
Okay, guys, let's we'll move on, and I think we're ready to do some promotion here for a show we got coming up Saturday. ACW. We'll bring in Mr. Shane Kauser.
Hey, fellas, how you doing?
Oh, going well. How you doing today?
All right, just kind of chilling. As you see, put a cap on. I didn't like the way my hair was flowing to the over here.
Well, I was wondering what was wrong with your head, but
didn't like it on camera.
Hey, real quick before we get started, I have a question. What do you think about those Indiana Pacers?
Hey, man. Can you see me smiling right now? Oh man, I'm loving it right now. I'm just hoping though that I'm hoping the basketball gods are going to throw it in our favor. You know, I mean,
hope so. It should be a tough series though.
I'm looking at what they said in 1999 was the last time the Knicks made it to the conference finals.
Yep.
And then
against us, I think.
Yeah, it was against us, and Reggie ended up taking them out, and we actually advanced. That was a year. We advanced, right? We went to the against the Lakers,
also Lakers
in finals, and lost to the Lakers, and then I think they said something about it's the 25th year, almost to the day, or whatever that, like we were there. So I mean, like the back-to-back conference finals, you know, is very telling that these guys weren't a fluke last year. And you know, I'm very excited. I have been, you know, when you're a Knicks fan, you know, I mean, I hate the Knicks. I always hated the Knicks just because it's always the Hicks versus the Knicks. But man, I'm so excited because just watching the Pacers play basketball, man, the way they move that ball, that's the way basketball should be played, man.
I agree.
And I mean, I think there's something like 300 and some touches, passes, or some shit like that during the game. And I mean, how about the Fever, bro? Opening night, they blew out the Chicago. Chicago Sky?
Yep.
And you know, I mean, but guess what, guys? WWE got this right a long time ago because remember when they had Saturday Night's Main Event when they had Tyrese Halliburton down there
Yep.
in MSG?
Yep.
And then they put Brunson. They put Brunson in there, involved him because I think it was a match with. It had something to do with oh shit, Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, and then was it Knight, LA Knight, or was it the
Was it LA Knight?
Austin Theory or Knight? One of the
It
one
was
of the
Knight.
Yeah, but they called it, man. They called it. WWE called it. So, and they brought that 316 Halliburton shirt back out. You can buy that on India. You can buy that on WWE.com. If you're a Tyrese Halliburton fan, you need to go get that shirt because it's very awesome. So, and how about this? I mean, I know we're off subject right now, but I don't know if you guys seen the. I mean, I'm on here supposed to be promoting my wrestling, and I'm talking about the Pacers, but just the class act right now. What we're talking about this about how Tyrese Halliburton is. I don't know if you've seen the viral video that went viral about the guy. I learned that he was a firefighter. It was a Knick fan that come out in the sea when they won. He had the Tyrese Halliburton jersey on, and they started throwing trash and stuff at him and everything like that. Today, I guess Tyrese went on the Pat McAfee show,
Yep.
and they tracked him down. And Tyrese is actually going to fly the dude into Game 3 here in Indianapolis, pay for his expense, and he's going to bring him down and have him. I mean, he said the whole team wants to meet him and everything else too. So, shout out, Tyrese. Shout out to him, man. He. So he is him. And I love my Pacers, man. But back to business. We do have a show coming up this weekend, this Saturday. At ACWR Mayhem and May, right, Marcus?
Yes.
And we're in Sharpsville. Tickets are 15 for first front row seats, 12 for ringside, second row and beyond, and $10 for general admission. Doors open at 6:05 bell time, or a little bit after 6, bell time 7:05 roughly. Let's hope so. I know we do have a lot of problems, a lot of the internal problems with getting ready to get our mics and stuff fixed up, but I've got batteries. I've got some good batteries, so hopefully when we put those in the microphones, maybe we'll be able to hear this time. So, but who knows? We've never been able to have a solid show where we have our batteries working for our microphones. But, I mean, hey, we still get it done. But we're coming at you guys live, and going to have a pretty solid show, I believe. We have 6 to 7 matches, as always, card subject to change. But as everybody knows, look to expect Coltex to be in there doing their regular chaos that they always do.
They're the best.
Take over from beginning to end. I wish there was something I could actually do. Maybe we're gonna have to look into that. Maybe about banning them. I mean, if they start to, I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to Travis and see if we can figure something out to where we can kind of have them guys not hijack the damn show from start to finish. I know Marcus don't like it. I sure don't like it.
They're awesome.
Kelly, Marcus, I don't know, man. I don't know. What Marcus just shaking his head. We do have JC Black is returning to wrestle Jensen. So she will be back in the building there to wrestle that night. We have Brody Bodkins will be wrestling Chet Ripley. Chet Ripley is a newcomer to AACW. So I myself I've not got a chance to watch the guy work yet. So I'm kind of excited to see how that's going to go. Brody Bodkins, we know what kind of body work Brody has. And like I said, Chet Ripley will be there. So,
interesting matchup.
Yeah, should be good.
Kind of a little bit anxious to see his body of work. And then, like I said, I'm not going to run down pretty much all the matches and stuff. You know, I mean, we have regular guys, you know, returning. Lennox will be in the house. Bobo Brazil Jr. will be there. You know, tag team champions Zay Gates and Christian Cash, Cold Hard Cash. Cody Lee and Bob Steele returning. So we have a good night of solid action, as always. I mean, I've noticed that the last few shows we've been contending to put up there, uh, the guys are bringing the fire, man. And you know, I mean, we are kind of, I mean, like every day, you know, every show is a work in progress. And we are seeing new people, returning old fans coming in. We're seeing some of the same people come back to the shows. Um, I mean, $15 is, you know, very fair, reasonable for the amount of entertainment that you guys get at one of our shows. So, Marcus, do you have that address handy right now?
Oh, I do not, but I can
I've
get
got
it.
it. I've got it. I've got it.
111. I always
111 West Walnut Street.
111 West Walnut
111
Street.
West Walnut
Sharpsville.
Street.
What I always tell them is, if you can find Sharpsville, just find the gym, and it ain't that big a town. So
Yeah, if you can find the park, if you find the park, you know if you can find the park, the city park there, the gym is attached to it. So, you're right in the area. So yeah, man, I'm very excited about you know, very excited about having that coming up. You know, I mean, it is Memorial Day coming up next week, so it's a show before, you know, we pay respects to the people who kind of kept us, you know, safe throughout the years, and kind of looking forward to the show, man.
Yeah, I am too.
Um,
Definitely am. Loving seeing Bobo, the legend. So
yes. Bobo is most definitely he's well loved in our, you know, I mean, he's well loved in our Fed, man. I mean, like I thought we were gonna break the house down last show when Jake Elliott thought he was going to walk out with the championship. You know, I mean, and that the little antics that Coltex, they seem to come up with something new every show. So we're going to have to try to find a way to limit that, pay more attention to what they've got on, because, you know, like I said, they have been running roughshod the last 2 or 3 freaking shows, and I'm kind of getting a little bit sick of seeing them take control.
it looks like
You
they're
know,
starting to have
so
issues. Looks like they're starting to have some issues within themselves.
yeah,
Though,
I mean, I
so.
don't know. I think there could be. You know, you've got one of the main guys out. You know, he's been out for a while with Justin Danger. He's been out. You know, I mean, he's part of Coltex, and he's been out for a while. And you know, I mean, when you got somebody like that who is a leader, you know, to help some of those young guys, along with Shane, you know, leading them guys through all the battles and everything. But Justin there, you know, not being able to be around sometimes may cause some cracks in the foundation. So, you know, it might be something to keep an eye on. So, you know, I mean, if there's cracks in the foundation, you never know when the wall is going to come complete down. So, you know, I mean, I mean, I have noticed that there are cracks starting to form, and you know, who knows? Maybe the walls come down soon. You know, I mean, who knows what's going to go on? But you know, like I said, uh, 7 o'clock, 7:05 bell time. Tickets $15 for front row, $12 for ringside behind that, and then we have bleacher seats that are general admission, $10. So, you guys all going to be in attendance?
Yes, I will be there. Chris will be there. And Marcus and
I don't
Kelly.
have to ask. I don't have to ask Warren. Warren don't like
In,
ACW.
in spirit, I'll be there.
Well, Warren don't like ACW. What do I
I
got to do to try to make you come to my shows and like ACW, Warren? Come
a
on,
limo?
man.
Come get a limo?
Get a limo. What the hell is this? You guys were talking about egos off camera. Look at this.
Would the Anderson one any closer for him?
Hey, if Ward's getting the limo, I want a limo.
No shit.
Walk the cookie.
Oh, yeah, I also do want to kind of bring this up. We're still trying to you know, we are going to be going to Anderson on July 26th, right, Marcus?
Yes.
And that show is going to be at the Anderson High School under the lights on the football field. And former TNA, ECW superstar Rhino will be in attendance there, and we also do have a um, Rhino will be doing a seminar that will be available for all training workers. If you're interested in signing up for that, contact Ryan Perkins. He can give you the information, tell you what you need to do about that. And like I said, that will be at the July 26th show over in Anderson, Indiana, at the high school on the football field.
Yeah, Rhino's been all over
So
the place. Rhino was on AEW TV a couple weeks ago. He wrestled at NWA show this past Saturday at the old ECW arena for NWA. He was in the main event of that NWA show, Crockett Cup.
nice.
So Rhino's been all over the place.
Yeah, and he does have his own promotion too in Michigan, I believe, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah, so I mean he's pretty busy. So like I said, there'll be more details. When we're kind of locking that stuff up, we're trying to, we've got a lot of stuff going on this year. So, our monthly shows, and then we're doing the Anderson show, something we picked up from Coach, to kind of kick off his football days over there with their football program and shit like that. To kick off their football camp, he wanted wrestling show. So. Like I said, I just wanted to put that out there and let everybody know that if you are a trained worker or whatever, and you want to attend that seminar is $40. I do believe contact Ryan Perkins for information, and he can tell you what you can do to make yourself be a part of that seminar for Rhino. So I think we're good, right?
Yep. Well, we appreciate your time. I do have a question, but I'm not going to go into it. The next time we have you on, I'll bring that up because it'll take a while. The question was it probably take 10 or 15 minutes, and we don't have that right now. But I will. It's something I definitely want to talk to you about because you're a promoter, and it's got to do with promoters. So, but we'll definitely bring that up the next time we have you on.
Okay, right on.
All right. So, we're going to move on. Thank you for coming on. We greatly appreciate it.
All
Hey,
right.
everybody go to Sharpsville. It's going to be a good show.
Yes.
And let's pack the house because it's
Come out
going to be a
and
good
check us
show,
out.
guys.
All right, guys. See you.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, see you Saturday.
See you, Bob.
Okay, we're going to bring our special guest in, Brandon Thomas.
What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, Brandon?
Oh, pretty good.
Well, I don't know if you know how this works. We're going to start off with Marcus first, and we'll go to Warren Mizzley second. I will be third. Chris will be fourth. We'll throw some questions at you for about 20, 25 minutes and learn some stuff about you, and hopefully we'll have a good time.
All right.
Marcus?
All right. Well, we want to thank you for coming on. This will be a little different because we're not that familiar with you, but by the end of this interview, hopefully we will be. So give us your background. I know what you told me, but go ahead and tell the world how you've been involved. We'll start there. How you've been involved with the world of professional wrestling.
Well, it all started whenever I was 3 years old. I don't remember much from being 3 years old, but the thing I do remember on my third birthday, June 11th, 1985 or 1986. Can't even remember my years. But I turned on TV, Hulk Hogan on there. I was amazed, and it's never ended. So my parents, they always took me to live shows in Peoria and Springfield every time that they were there. And one day I'm like, I want to be a pro wrestler. And my parents kind of looked at me and they gave me that good old saying, you can be whatever you want to be. So I dreamed about it and everything. Fifth grade comes, I'm 5'5", 50 pounds. Everybody's laughing at me for my dream. And then whenever I finally graduated high school in 2002, I'm like, I want to find somewhere to start training. And I couldn't. 2004 comes along. I finally find out about New Midwest Wrestling out of Springfield, Illinois. And I started training there. I really wanted to be a manager because of my size and everything. they talked me into doing some wrestling. So I did. I trained everything and became a wrestler. I went under the name WACK, WACK, and really can't find too much footage because back then, the internet and YouTube was just getting started and everything. And then I decided, I just want to manage. I managed for a while, and then I stepped away a little bit after getting married, and then went back into it, started ring announcing and commentating. But then once again, I wrestled a little bit more, got all my ribs on my right side broken by a 430 pounder. That's about 160 pounds. I'm like, I'm done. Now, 3 years later, I go back in and I start doing commentary. Commentary was really fun for me. Now that's pretty much my career. So now I'm reffing after stopping once again my second wife that I'm with now. I actually talked her into going to shows when we lived down in the St. Louis area, and she was really, really hesitant because she never watched wrestling. Got her hooked on that first show. And so we started going to shows and stuff, and she's like, you need to get back into this. Nope. And then here I am. And now I'm reffing, and reffing is my favorite thing, and especially at the age that I'm at now. I'm middle-aged and crazy, and I just love to referee, and that's what I will end up doing for the rest of my days in the business.
Okay, Warren?
Talking about reffing, what are some of the hurdles as a ref that you've come across that that every ref like, if you could give advice to these guys, who are you gonna? I got Tony. Yes, I got Tony's question. Yes. What kind of hurdles do you find as a ref in the ring?
So you never know. You're never going to please everybody. I can go to one show and I can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the corner, and they're like, hey, your count is perfect. And I can go to another show the very next day. Okay, you're counting too slow. You're counting too fast. So that is a hurdle. That is an obstacle, never knowing how exactly you're going to be able to please somebody. So that's a big hurdle. And then just this past Saturday night, I was used as a tool for the heel in the ring. And at intermission, this kid comes up to me, why the hell didn't you disqualify him and all this and that? Well, you got to stay in that kayfabe. So I'm like, this is a tournament. So I don't want a match to end like that. No, you're right. I should have disqualified him, but I don't want to see a match like that end. So, you got to stay in that character. A lot of people say that the referees don't have characters or shouldn't have characters. I totally agree with that. But you still got to be a part of the show. You got to be a part of the plan.
Definitely. Best wrestling match that you've ever refereed?
I would say Robbie McCann versus Scotty Keys at Foundry Pro Wrestling. You guys may not know Scotty Keys, but Robbie McCann, I know he does some work like in the Decatur area, and that they had an hour long, actually it's supposed to be a 30-minute long Iron Man match, and it ended up going like 50 minutes. Just a really fun match. The fans were really getting into it, and I would say that's my favorite match. I'll go ahead and say my favorite match in your guys' area. It took place last summer at All Vermilion, Limbo against Clayton Clark. That was just a really fun match there at Exit 210 Saloon.
Chris?
All right, we'll go with first. We'll go with Kelly's question. She wants to know who your favorite super fan is, Kelly or Marcus.
I really haven't ran into Kelly or Marcus too much. I think I've actually maybe 2-3 shows I've seen him. So let's go ahead and call that a tie.
Okay, yeah, Marcus, you got Ty.
Well, no, I had a feeling. It's like, well, this ought to be interesting because, again, he don't know us either. So,
Have you refereed in any other states besides Illinois?
I have been at Warrior Pro once there in Danville, Indiana. That was kind of an interesting time. I worked for AVW that Saturday night, and then I had NVW in Danville, Illinois that Sunday night. Well, me and my wife, we ended up getting screwed on a hotel room in Danville, Illinois. So we didn't know what we was going to do. So I said something to Cecil, and we ended up staying in the locker room that we used at Exit 210 Saloon that night. So whenever we end up going in there we went to the bar, we ate and drank a few. And then when we go back into the locker room, there's Cecil sitting on the bathroom counter. Hey, what are you doing in the morning? He says. I'm like, well, we was planning on going to a church. And he's like, well, shoot. He goes, I was going to see if you wanted to go to Warrior Pro. I'm like, we got to be at NVW. Oh, we'll have time. We'll have time. We barely made it back to NVW that night. But Warrior Pro, I have worked there. They're in Indiana. I've done some shows in Iowa for some feds back several years ago, and Minnesota and Michigan. But those were all several years ago. Right now, I'm pretty much just stuck here in Illinois.
Marcus?
Kelly and I double shot at that Danville day too. We were at both shows, so because it only happened once, because I called it the day of the Danvilles. But okay, this could be a two-part question. Who trained you to wrestle in Springfield?
Spotlight Spencer Powers and Guy Smith.
Okay. Have you had any dealing? Do you know who Dice Man Ronnie Vegas is?
No, I do not.
Okay, because he used to do some stuff in Springfield, so I didn't know if you worked with him or not. So okay.
Warren?
All right, I'm going to put you in the time machine here. Put your ref shirt on. What match in the history of wrestling would you want to ref the most if you go back in time?
So my favorite match this was whenever I was younger, and I still love this match to the very day. And it's kind of weird that I know the exact date of the show. It was a Saturday night main event match, January 3rd, 1987. The first ever steel cage match shown on basic television. Hulk Hogan versus Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. In a steel cage match, so many interesting things happen. You actually seen blood. It wasn't much blood, but you seen blood on basic national TV. Not too many people seen it back then in 87. And like I said, first steel cage match televised. And then, you got those Hall of Famers working. You got Hogan and Orndorff working. Then you've got Jesse the Body Ventura and Bobby Heenan on commentary. Then you got two well-known great refs out there in Danny Davis and Joey Morella. I wish I could have been one of those refs because it was just a magical match, a magical moment. It was a memory that, a guy like me that's going to have. I hope others end up getting impacted through that. So that would be the match if I could go back and do.
That was the old
the feet touched.
Bar.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. I knew there was another thing. Yep. Yeah. Both of them came down and touched at the same time. That's something that you don't see very often at all. So, yeah.
Best wrestling match you've seen live?
No, he's still.
Oh, boy. So going back to as a kid, going to Springfield and Peoria whenever WWF came in, the match that I can really, really remember is after the natural disasters had broke up and Typhoon and Earthquake had their short run as enemies. it was, well, I mean, it wasn't a televised show or anything, but that's one match that does stick into my mind. Two huge guys who used to be friends. Now they're broken up and they're battling each other. And it was just a really interesting match that I seen that I'll remember. And I'm not really too sure why I remember that match so well, but it just kind of got my interest, especially with big men wrestling. You know, I was small then, I'm small now. So it's always interesting to see those bigger guys, just to watch their work and their work ethic.
Yeah, well, I agree, and that's something we don't see enough of anymore. Not that many big guys. Chris?
What's the difference in your mentality? Because you said you've done multiple positions. So if you're going into a match as a wrestler and a referee, what would be maybe the biggest difference mentality wise that you would have to have?
That's a really good question. I like that. So it's just my whole different character. Me wrestling, my character. I'm from the boonies of Illinois. I'm that crazy backwoods son of a bitch. I'm kind of like a cult leader in the boonies of Illinois with no followers. So it's all in the character. And then reffing wise, you know, I'm really loud and I try to insert my authority. So those are just two completely different things. The refereeing me is, see, I used to officiate for school sports and summer leagues and all that. So, you know, whenever I put on that jersey, you know, I kind of change because I do want to have that authority. Now, the question that was asked about the obstacles, that's another thing. I've had people say, you know what, you're too loud. Well, you know what, I'm a loud person. I'm a vociferous person. So both of those things are a part of me because, you know, like I said, you know, I do feel that authority whenever I put on that jersey. Then wrestling wise, you know, I am a little bit crazy. I am from the backwoods, the boonies of Illinois. And I do have a ministry background. So all of that is me, but two absolutely different entities.
Okay. Marcus?
Billy Buzz is a good one.
Okay.
All right. Besides wrestling, is there another sport you wish you did or you enjoy?
Well, baseball played a huge part in my life as well. I did go and play college ball at a junior college and then a private Christian college. And then I went on and I was assistant high school baseball coach for 8 years. So baseball plays a big role. Then I've worked for the St. Louis Cardinals minor league system here in Peoria. They were, at that time, they were low A for the Cardinals. Now they're a high A team. Then I went on and I worked for the St. Louis Cardinals for a couple of years. And now I'm back in the boonies of Illinois. But baseball still holds a special part in my life. And I mean, sports in general have played a role in my life, especially these last 27 years. I've also worked for our athletic co-op here in town. Not really a title. It's kind of, I am an independent contractor with that, just like I am with wrestling, but I always call myself a sports information director. What I do, I run the clock for our football or our basketball. I call in the scores to the media, stuff like that. So I have always wanted to be an athletic director, and I've never had the opportunity. And now I'm getting older. I kind of need to step away from that dream, but I've got to live pretty much every dream that I've had. And a lot of that does revolve around sports.
Real quick, just add on to that. What did you do when you worked for the Cardinals?
I ran the front of the house in security. So they're at Busch Stadium. the front of the building is on 8th Street. So pretty much I walked up and down 8th Street. I put on about 20 miles a day just walking. And so kind of watching panhandlers, the scalpers, and stuff like that, making sure that they didn't come over onto the property, plus making sure that people were only parked for like 15 minutes there at the ticket, where you buy the tickets. It was crazy. A country boy like me going to the city, that's strange. That's probably the strangest thing that I've ever done.
Okay, Marcus.
Have you had any injuries, not personally you, but the workers you were refereeing during any of the matches you revved?
I've only, as a ref, I've only seen one person end up getting injured in the ring, and he ended up doing something to his shoulder. I think he hyperextended it. That was Chris Gates over at New Version Wrestling one night. And I'm asking him, I go, "Do you want the X?" He's like, no. And Chris Halls ended up coming over. So, and it ended up being the finish of the match anyway, that he ended up injuring himself, and now he's good. I've seen him at shows since, and he's the only one that I can really remember seeing getting injured. And then with me, I've only had that one injury that I was talking about earlier with my right side of my ribs getting broken.
Sorry, Chris. Looks like we're all stealing each other's questions tonight.
Okay.
Well, we have one in the comments. Real
Okay.
quick,
Okay.
from Kenny Niles. Do you like CBW?
So I told these guys that I would bring up CBW. This might make some people question me and hate me, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm middle-aged and crazy, so you could hate away or you could love me. There's no in between. At CBW, CBW stands for Championship Backyard Wrestling. Now, some people may be shutting me off now, but stay with me.
Marcus?
You got my head shaking. Go ahead.
So CBW has myself and 4 other guys, and right now 3 of those guys, or actually 5 guys, because one guy is going to start training next month. Then there's 3 guys who they've been training, and where they're training at, they only do once a month sessions. So they're eager and they want to learn and they want to practice. And that's what this is it's practice. And yes, it's on a trampoline, but we're not lighting tables on fire. We're not doing fluorescent light bulbs. We're not doing that. What they're doing, they're practicing matches. Yes, it's on a trampoline. If anybody wants to give us a ring for free, that would be great. But so those 3 trainees and another guy who's going to start training next month, and then we've got another guy who is a rookie who's now on a couple of rosters, and they're all just practicing. They're having fun. I'm not claiming that I train them. I'm watching them. The one thing that I do try to help them out with the most is their character development, because that's something that I'm really into, is character development. I think that's important, and that's something that drew me into wrestling was the character, and I kind of got that wicked mind like Warren does as well. I could see. And, I'm able to help them with promos. And that's one of my favorite, and that is my favorite thing about wrestling is promos. So, I could take those guys and I can watch their promos. I can give them advice. And like I said, I'm not their trainer. I'm just one of those old guys trying to help them out. And like I said, I know backyard wrestling has a bad reputation. And like I tell them guys, CBW, I'd like to get that backyard out of that name, but I'm not in charge of that either. But it's not a traditional backyard wrestling fed. And Kenny asks if I like it. Kenny and we will be having a match, and that will be a lot of fun. I'm repping it. He bumped me, and he pissed me off, and he's bringing out those inner demons of whack, and he's going to find out that was a mistake.
Okay, Warren.
Was it Marcus? Did you still
I
have
think
one?
it's
Or?
Marcus.
Oh,
No,
Marcus.
I took Chris's, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Marcus went. It's
Okay.
good.
All right, cool. Well, first off, if you thought my last promo in ABW was mean and nasty, just wait until y'all see what I got set up for the June 1st, the next show. I got some good fire there. But let's go ahead now and let's shift gears from referee to manager. Time machine again. What match in the history of wrestling would you want to manage?
Huh. That's kind of a hard question.
It is a hard question.
WrestleMania 9, Tatanka versus Shawn Michaels. Oh, you want a reason why? That was the first match that came to my mind. So that was an interesting match. I'm sure that I could have came up with something heel or face on that. But I do like being the heel because I'm a face in real life. So I'd like to be a heel, but I can also manage face. That was just an interesting match with the double count out and everything. And I'm sure that I could have found some really neat things to do in that match. I guess you put me on the spot with something I've never thought about. So
That's why
there you go.
No softballs coming from me yet.
I've got two questions and one. If you could be any pro wrestling referee, who would it be? And if you could be any pro wrestler, who would it be?
Referee, I'd probably say Jack Doan because he ended up doing a whole lot more. He does recruiting and all that, so I admire that, and that'd be something that I would like to do: be a ref and also be a recruiter. So Jack Doan, he inspires me on that, and that'd be something that I think me and him would kind of have the same joy and mindset on. So I would say Jack Doan. Wrestler, I would say Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat was my favorite wrestler growing up. Guy always had those perfect matches that just seemed flawless. So and that was the kind of wrestler that I wanted to be, but I know that I never was. So if I could have been Ricky Steamboat, I would have been Ricky Steamboat.
Hey, Chris.
Marcus, you can go.
No,
Have you
hold on
read?
one second. Hold on one second. Down to the final two questions.
All right. Well, that's good. That's how many I got left. Have you refereed any matches with any of the big names?
I've done a Mantar whenever he was the Turkish Terror, something the Turkish Terror. And we was in an
about that, but okay.
we was in an 8x8 ring, and he was going against Phil Nitro from Michigan. So it's two guys that's over 300 pounds and me in an 8x8 ring. That was a very, very difficult match to call, but it ended up being really good. When we think of Mantar, we think of the WWF Mantar. And whenever I worked with him, whenever he was the Turkish Terror or whatever, he was very impressive. So I've worked him. I've worked Evan Bourne, Matt Seidel, back in the day before he even became Evan Bourne. I worked a match with him. And I think that's it.
Okay.
You know, Mantar gets a bad rap because of the WWE, but I know the WWE did him no favors. So
Right.
Warren.
One of the more, I think, as far as all of us go and people that watch, when difficult things when it comes to being a ref is when you have that moment when you're counting that 3, whoa, and
that was
the guy's supposed to kick out, but you don't see him kick out. I mean, kick out. So, how do you, in your mind? I mean, do you continue through? Do you hold? How do you deal with that when a guy's supposed to kick out, but it doesn't look like he's kicking out?
So there's been twice with AVW AVW that I've had similar experiences with. Actually, you've seen it, Warren, firsthand. And what happened that night? Well, it was my first match I had ever done with AVW, and Cecil wanted us to wear the ear pieces, and I came down for 1, 2. My hand gets caught in the wire, so it looks like I end up counting to 4. So I go back and I'm like, hey, do I really need this? He goes, why is it bothering you? Yes, it's making me look stupid. Then the first show at AVW at the skate rink, my final match I did. I thought I heard that they were going to do all these different things. Match ended up 2 minutes. I come down and I feel my rotator cuff pull. And it once again looked like I counted to 4. And there was actually a promoter there kind of scouting me out. And promoter goes to my wife and he goes, what? He can't count? And then after a show, he goes, I can't book you if you can't count. I go, now listen, I go, number 1, the match didn't end up exactly how I thought. Number 2, I hurt myself. So those are the 2 instances that would be similar to the question. But how do I overcome it? I mean, stuff happens. That's the only thing I can really say. And, you know, if the promoters don't like it, then they're not going to ask me back. But Cecil's always asked me back, and I'll be there once again on June 1st. Actually, I'll be over in that area the 31st for NVW, and then the next day it'll be AVW. So that's a lot of traveling for me because Danville and all that, that's about a 3-hour trip for me. But I enjoy working for them, and I'll do it as long as I can.
For me, a best venue that you've worked in and your favorite town to work in.
I really like Exit 210 Saloon, especially whenever they have the stage up. That just kind of brings the magic in. So that's my favorite outside venue. My favorite inside venue I've ever worked, probably be Greenview, Illinois. Their school, their gym, just the architecture of their gym is just so cool. I worked for Pro Wrestling Now. They do like charity events and benefits. They don't run monthly or anything like that, but actually, in November 15th, they'll be having their second Bulldog Brawl there. I really like just the structure and the architecture of that gym. And then all around, my favorite venue I've ever worked is Hoffman Estates in Milan, Illinois, in the Quad Cities area. What it is, it's a mobile home society. And I wrestled that show. That's the only show in all my years of wrestling that I ended up working face, and I was kind of upset that the promoter made me a face that day. But the reason he made me a face that day, and I'm sure Warren can relate to this, is we couldn't call it a trailer park or we would get in trouble, and the promoter knew I wasn't going to listen to those demands. So he ended up having me work face, and it was it's like 110 degrees that day. And this mobile home society, they had like an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and that saved our lives. Whenever we got there early and stuff, we ended up all just jumping in the pool. That ended up being the meet and greet with the fans and everything. 250 people there, hot and loud the entire show. So that was my favorite venue, my favorite show that I've wrestled in.
Okay. Chris?
Let Marcus go.
Okay.
You guys, all my questions the last few questions I got stolen.
Okay. We're down to our final question, Marcus.
Okay. Funny story time. You need to tell us a funny story in your life in the world of professional wrestling that involved you or that you witnessed.
Well,
and
see,
you don't have to be clean unless you just get totally bad about it. But
so you did tell me about this question. So I've been thinking about, and I've got so many stories, but I'll go ahead and talk about my first match that I worked. And my dad, he wanted to go. So my dad, he's in the car. He's asking me all these questions. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? What's going to go on? I'm like, no, I'm not telling you. You'll find out. Now, he did know that my first match was against a Latina woman. So we ended up, so we get there, and my dad was kind of mad and upset that I never did say anything. And whenever I did what I did, I just had to watch his reaction. And of course, I went over with the girl what I was going to do, make sure that everything was all right. Back then, you could get away with a lot more things as well. So, like I said, she was a Latina, so I had a Taco Bell bag, and I'm like, I'm going to put this over your ugly face and everything. It ends up going over my ugly face. And, there was some jokes involved and everything. And I'm watching my dad the whole time. That's a memory that I was able to have with my dad, seeing his reactions, seeing him just cracking up, and him watching me pretty much get my ass beat by a Latino woman. So it was something that my dad always talked about. And then my dad's the one who did get me into wrestling. He was a barber, and his favorite wrestler was Brutus Barber Beefcake, since he was supposedly a barber too. So at the moment that I was able to share with my dad, he had heart trouble since 89. He had his first heart attack in 1989. Whenever I was 6 years old, they gave him 5 years to live. He ended up living till 2018. So I got to officiate his funeral back in 2018, and that was a story that I got to share during his memorial service. Recently, my funniest story comes from, once again, AVW. Well, my wife, she travels with me, and she gets into the shows and everything. And I had to, I got to give her a nickname. Now I call her Pocketbook Angie. Christian Cash, Christian Cash, he gets into those fans. He's got that unique ability. And he told my wife that her hair looks like she wipes other people's asses with it. And it does. I mean, my wife has beautiful hair. But so she takes her pocketbook, and I mean, this pocketbook's like 10 inches long, and she just starts whacking Christian Cage with it, or Christian Cash with it. And Christian Cash like, ref, kick her out. Like, you got your ass into this. I'm staying out of it. So, and I've got plenty more stories, but we'll be here all night.
Okay, Warren.
All right, here's my softball question. Are you NWO for life, or are you a degenerate?
I'm NWO. I got to go with NWO. They had some great ideas, and they always gave you that shock and always had you guessing on what they were going to do, who they was going to bring in. Yeah, I got a little bit out of control, but I'm able to see the mindset and the plan that they had
Okay, my final question is that's more than one, but it's kind of the same thing. Favorite food, your favorite music, your favorite TV show, and your favorite movie.
So, my favorite food. So, meal wise, I'd say barbecue pork. International wise, I guess Chinese. My favorite TV show. There's only one classic TV show ever to come, and that's got to be Married with Children.
Okay.
My favorite movie, I'm really into sports movies because I'm, like I said, sports has been my life. It would be The Sandlot would be my favorite movie overall, I would say. But a movie that has a special place in my heart is the first movie that I went to the movie theaters to watch, and that was No Holds Barred. Music, you said music, right?
Yes.
I listen to a lot of contemporary Christian music with my background in ministry and everything. I'm not really into hymns, but I am into contemporary Christian music.
Okay. Before Chris does his final question, you want to do Billy Buzz?
That's what I was going to do. Is my final question.
Okay.
Yeah. For my final question, we'll go with Billy's here. Going back to baseball, who's your favorite baseball player? And also, do you think Pete Rose should be or should have been voted into the Hall of Fame? Or should be voted into the Hall of Fame?
Pete Rose is way overdue. I believe that they should have had him in the Hall of Fame years and years ago. Pete Rose did so much for baseball as a player, as a coach, as a man in general. So he should already be in. I hope now that he's reinstated, he does get in. He's very, very deserving. My favorite baseball player of all time. I've met a lot of baseball players in my life as well. But my favorite would have to be Rafael Palmeiro. Rafael Palmeiro is a guy who made me love the position of first base, and that's what I played pretty much my entire career in baseball is first base. So Rafael Palmeiro, Rafael Palmeiro, one day, whenever he was playing with the Peoria Chiefs, whenever they was with the Cubs, I was probably 6-7 years old. I tried to get his autograph, and he just walked away. Then we ended up eating at Chili's in Peoria, and here comes Mr. Palmeiro, and I end up running up to him. He's like, "Hey, I'm sorry." He signs my ball. He signs my glove. Then after we get done eating, we go to pay, and they said Mr. Palmeiro paid for your guys' meal. So that got my respect for Rafael Palmeiro. So Rafael Palmeiro, I'd say, is my favorite all-time player.
Okay. Well, Chris,
I had to switch up hats here because the Tigers are going to take down your Cardinals since these three starting tonight. So I just switched that up a little bit.
Tigers been best record in baseball.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and Cardinals are kind of impressing me this year. Last year, not so much, but this year they're trying to hang in. I'm not really a fan of any team in general. I'm just a fan of the game. So I kind of watch everybody. I watch all the teams and try to keep up on them, try to win some fantasy leagues. So Warren's here. I'm glad to see that because I did tell Warren if he wasn't here the whole time we was going to talk shit about him. So so I think I scared him.
That
Do
should have
that
stopped
when I'm
you.
here.
I'll say that should have stopped you. We do it anyway. So
Yeah, that's normal. Well, hey, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yep, and you have a good night.
Yep, you too.
Right, guys. We have anybody have anything before?
We'll be in ACW. Did we go live the last show?
We did last month.
Yes.
If we can get it done, yeah. It'll be on
We
2
did go live, so hopefully we may be live on Saturday. You'll be checking out on Facebook probably around about 7 o'clock, about 7:05, 7 o'clock. So
Supposed to be
All
something.
right. Memorial Day weekend, or are we?
Well, no show next Monday.
no show next Monday.
No show next Monday.
Yeah, we're gonna take next Monday off for about
We're gonna take the
no.
No week for us, so you guys don't get to see me for another whole week. Okay. So then I need to put my plug in then for the June 1st, then at AVW Illinois Skate Park.
Yep.
My surgery's done. I'm ready to make my reappearance and cause some more chaos in AVW. So
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. We're going to take the next Monday off. Now we will be doing our show this Thursday and the following Thursday. Heel and Face.
I knew Mike Noble.
Wrestling
I knew
talk.
Mike Noble sucked, but now he sucks even more because he's a Knicks fan.
Yep, I agree with that 100%.
we also come in the last 10 minutes of the show. What do you expect? I mean,
Well, he had a bad weekend. He had the shit beat out of him several times. So
Our guest was very interesting. Had a lot of different interests.
Yeah.
Baseball guy. Yeah. That was
by-
pretty good.
AEW Double or Nothings is coming weekend too.
Yes, we got that Sunday. We got Saturday night's main event on Saturday night. Got a lot of stuff coming up.
Pacers play the Knicks this weekend.
I
Indy
think
500.
Indy 500. I think NXT may have a pay per view. Yeah, they have pay per view Sunday also. I believe.
Reds
I
versus,
think.
Reds versus the Cubs this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. I think you're going to check that out, ain't you?
I think I'm probably going to on Sunday.
Detroit's been kicking butt, man. They're playing good. Got one of the best pitchers in the game.
Heck yeah.
Well, we thank everybody for joining us. And Marcus, you got anything?
nope, you guys covered it.
Okay. Well, everybody have a good night.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
Here, this is Joey Owens show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.